Shall we get into this, everybody? Shall we? Last night, pure fluke and a half. We keep this Cardinals run going. We try to win a title. We go 4-3. We blow it up at the deadline with the guys on expiring contracts. Miss the playoffs on tiebreaker. Go to the free agency period. I was going to say the draft initially, but we go to free agency. Sign an entire offensive line and a quarterback that we nearly traded for from the Colts last season. And then we go to the draft and get a generational defensive lineman, 3rd overall, and trade up again to get the 7th overall pick, and we take a project quarterback. The roster is set. Allow me to kind of show you what we're working with here. First and foremost, at quarterback, Cameron Harden, Logan Gibbs, and Kenny, by God, Pickett. He's back again. He'll never retire. Kenny Pickett, still here. He's beautiful. But to answer the question of Gibbs or Harden, I still haven't chosen. I still haven't. Again, we don't know the dev pattern for Gibbs. I did go through practice or the training camp for some people, so he does have 300 downs played already. I think if we have him as the starter in the preseason, we'll be good. What excites me about him, under 5,000 points to get an upgrade point, makes me think he's better than star dev. At least I would think. It's a tough call. And again, he already has that upgrade point, which is great. So showing up as a 74 overall. So it is a really, really tough decision in terms of who starts at quarterback. The running backs, of course, Cameron Walton, still an X factor. We got Glenn Reynolds behind him. We signed a rando free agent, Alani Dunbar. We didn't really need a veteran for Reynolds because he's normal dev. Fullback, Jacoby Harris, still. And then wide receiver, Marco Macklin, still an X factor. Brandon Bush, Deshaun Presley. And then we signed Josh Palmer as a veteran. And Zamel Fells. 2 reasons. 1, great name. 2, fast as shit. Look at this guy, 99 speed. So I imagine he'll be a kick returner. I actually haven't even looked. So the receiver core is still class. I mean, especially even if Deshaun Presley's deals up at the end of the year, we're going to go for it. Tight end, we will have a practice squad option, but Lonnie Reed returns to X Factor, which is great. Joey Main we took in the draft, and then Sam Laporta's the mentor. We're going to be dropping Curtis Adams to the practice squad because he's just kind of mid. The O-line, Colt Dillard, alongside Cam Schumer. At center is Connor Shivers. We got Landon Dickerson at right guard, and then right tackle is Clifton Bryan. And then this frickin' defense. We haven't built a defense like this ever? I mean, it's been kind of a theme of a lot of the Madden franchises I've had, especially on Twitch, and not all these ended up on YouTube. But our Detroit Lions run, we had a great defense. Our Miami Dolphins run, our defense was just absurd. And this might take the cake. Chest Williams, your 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. And on the other side, I did move him over from defensive tackle. Grandfather's grave. I did not look at the dev pattern. I stayed strong and did not look because I don't want to know. But come on. He's got to be an X factor, right? He has to be. Just as good at DT as he is on the right edge. Ben Tuttle. But watch every Good Guys GM mode, and I'm trying to turn it again. 21 0. Shout out to the Good Guys GM mode, by the way. Shout out to GM Connected. Hope it comes back someday. Defensive tackles, Sheldon Steele, who again we acquired for Dennis Payne, and DeAndre McGee, who went superstar last year. It's gross. Linebackers, Christian White, who actually did retain his superstar ability. I didn't think that he did. Middle linebackers, Damian Johnson. We brought in a couple of other people. And then on the right, Devin Fowler, the former Super Bowl MVP. And we finally brought in Jalen Phillips, who's not an X Factor anymore. At corner, Khalid Callahan, Bart Flowers, a.k.a. Fart Blowers, and Deshaun Mooney still there. Safeties, Derek Ridley and Matthias Griffin. And, of course, a kicker, Evan McPherson. And this time, Ryan Wright, who we signed as a free agent with that 99 power. So we might not have a pick until the third round this year, but this team could be something special. It's not overly surprising that we're competitive again, but maybe it is surprising that we're competitive again this quickly. Starfield went. I got to be honest, it's just not my kind of game. Not my kind of game. So Logan Gibbs is going to be the preseason number 1. And we'll see if we can find out what his dev pattern is sooner rather than later. Let's actually give Fells that 4th, man, because him on a slant route could be insane. Not a slant, well, slant or a streak for that matter. Peppa, 7 months on the primer. Or in your case, the Prima. Thank you. Appreciate you. Welcome in. How are you tonight? I cannot talk. It actually doesn't have Fells as a return, man. It has Presley. That's a bit risky. Let's have it be Dunbar. Maybe. You know what? I'm going to go with Fells. I'm going to go with Fells as our return man. His grade isn't as great, but I don't want to risk the injury. It was my wedding. Beginning of November. I got married this Saturday. Well, mazel tov to you. Congratulations. Congrats on the marriage. Hope it was a great day. I mean, you would think, but, you know. Just don't want to put the positive vibe out there. Of course, I look like a jerk because I'm focused on setting up the roster, but what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? All right. We got chest. We don't want that to be Fowler. We want it to be King Tut. By the way, I came up with a nickname for Ben Tuttle. He's going to be King Tut. I'm very happy with it. All hail the Tut. All hail the Tut. Corner. All right, there we go. We're looking good. When's the Twitch stream for my wedding? I wasn't able to get that particular detail cleared. Oh, God. It's never good when Endo says check a group chat. Oh, God. Endo, you're not wrong. I also have no idea who the hell that is. But hilarious. Hilarious. My goodness. All right. All right. I mean, that's what, you know. CV, that's what, you know, a photographer's for. And we got one of those. So we're looking good. Who the hell are going to be our focus players here? We got 2 star-level guards that were UDFAs, but their depth options, there's no point in training them up. They're just going to drop. Cameron Harden at 26. It's not too old necessarily to get this this dev time. Christian White's only 25. Sheldon Steele was only 23. Is there anybody else who's young enough to really benefit from these training spots? 25, Damian Johnson. 25, it's got to be Marco Macklin. I guess we'll get Harden out of there because he is 26. We'll go for Damian Johnson. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm excited to see what this team can do. I just hope our young quarterback's actually good. I really hope he's good, especially because we gave up a lot of money to get him. That's been the common theme of this franchise mode is giving up a lot to get a quarterback. My goodness. The Sled Hockey Women's World Championship start Friday in Wisconsin. Yeah, Wheels, go ahead. Go ahead. I would, one of those things where it's like I would love to pay attention to it. I'm excited for the podcast this week. You're going to get to talk about the new women's league that's out there, too. Finally, we got some details. Some details over the future of women's hockey with the PWHL. Last season, and we finished 9-8 and missed the playoffs on tiebreaker. But again, we had a late start tonight, everyone. So if you're like, oh, did I miss anything? The answer so far is no. So welcome in. Have I considered moving the franchise? Not for this one. Again, whenever we're finally done with this, I am going to have a UDFA only challenge, the undrafted free agents. And we typically do move that team. 9 times out of 10, we move them to Utah. It's become a channel meme. I don't know how. Oh, God, who's hurt? Who's hurt? Okay, it's a depth lineman, Matt Phelps. Survived severe injury there. So, survived severe injury. Final week of the preseason, we start off this next campaign against Minnesota. Still don't know for sure what Logan Gibbs is right now in terms of the downs played. So, I mean, top hat, they probably will. But at the end of the day, hey, whatever leads, the NHL takes credit for the league, whatever. As long as there's actually finally that league, then whatever. You know, whoever wants to take credit, go ahead, as long as that league exists. We have $10 million in salary right now. That's kind of wild. Both ourselves and the Seahawks finished undefeated in the shorter preseason. All right, let's see. Curtis Adams, you are off to the practice squad. We got to get rid of 2 other people. 2 other people. I think one was Corbett. One other person. One other person. Mr. Webster. Good to see you. How are you tonight, bud? Let's drop Isaiah Turner. Ozzy, what's up? So we won the Super Bowl. We tried to keep the team together, lost a couple pieces. We weren't exactly crushing it, so then we blew it up in terms of guys on expiring deals. But then we bought heavily in free agency and at the draft, and now we're right back into a competitive state. Heading into a brand new season, 2033. Did not think we would see it. There are a lot of expiring deals. This is also the first time in a while. Then maybe not. I mean, this might be our last shot. We've said it before, but it might be our last shot because there are a lot of deals due at the end of this season. We still don't quite know what Logan Gibbs is. He does have another upgrade point, which is good. God, his face. He only played 67 downs in the preseason despite being QB1. I feel like we give him a chance at the start of the year, right? And then if we start losing, flip it over to Harden. And again, the hope with Harden was that he would get that breakout kind of quickly. It's still just such a tough call. The goal for the season, I think it's pretty clear, at least make the playoffs. I mean, it is win the Super Bowl. Let's get to the playoffs again, just to be safe. And honestly, we're going to be paying attention to the draft class a little bit more this year again, even though we don't have a pick until the 3rd frickin' round. Only 2. And it's at 9 and 10. 2 quarterbacks. Kevin Dillinger and Bryson Brown. Interesting. So maybe we did make the right call to go after a quarterback this past draft when we did. Because there might not be that top tier one. So before we can do that, I have to look at what contracts are coming due. If we need more help at safety or wide receiver. So we do have a lot to get through here. And then we'll start simming this season. And again, we haven't had to push back. We have a running back crisis at the end of the season. Presley's gone at the end of the season. So we could look for another wideout. Lonnie Reed's deal is up at the end of this season. Every member of the O-line is up at the end of the year. Good thing is our D-line is strong. DeAndre McGee is getting paid $18 million. It's ridiculous. Our middle linebacker is up at the end of the year. Oh, my God. Our third corner is up at the end of the year. And this is what I wanted to know. Our top free safety is up. Griffin's not, though. So at least we know what we should potentially target depending on who comes back and who doesn't. We obviously can't negotiate right now for certain contracts. So we'll... oh, goodness. We'll just have to do what we can do. So back to the region breakdown. We'll keep it pretty simple with the drafting. So from the national perspective, we'll go back to that in a minute. For the West, outside linebacker, which you don't really need too much. We do need a linebacker in general. Any of those would help, right? So in the West, it's outside linebacker, tight end, and corner. In the Central, outside linebacker, safety, and halfback. Oh, man. Well, actually, it's a good thing. I mean, there are strengths for pretty much everything that we need. Outside linebacker, halfback, wide receiver. Oh, boy. And then, yeah, from the national perspective, wide out, outside linebacker, corner. Okay. How the hell are we going to set this up? Take back control for scouting, and it could be a nightmare. Let's get rid of everybody for the moment and see what we got. So, if there is a 3-star wideout, I mean, it's wideout 3, our middle linebacker, and then a cornerback, the third one. So, for that 3-star, I mean, there's corner and safety. We need wideout. I mean, wideout and corner, wideout outside linebacker. There is corner and wideout. So at least Alessia Trenkel's available if we need her. Is there a linebacker specialist? There is. She only works with safeties, though, as a secondary. Offensive tackles. Technically, we do need a middle linebacker, but that doesn't fit. All right, well, we have to go with Miss Trenkel at the national level there. For a 2-star, it's just whatever the hell we can find. Safety, tight end doesn't fit with anything. Outside linebacker, interior. Tight end and safety. No. Safety and quarterback. We don't need a quarterback. Certainly. Offensive tackle, interior, offensive line. But according to the strengths, the O-line is not one of them this season, which is a little bit concerning. Wide out tight end. Oh, man. None of these 2-stars are lining up until this one right here. Deion Sanders. Deion, you're coming back. Welcome back. And then for the 1-stars. Outside linebacker and corner. Is there somehow a tight end outside linebacker combination? Holy shit, there is. That's you, sir. Tomas Cruz, you are a unicorn. Thank you for that. What about safety and running back? That feels even less likely. Is there a safety and running back focused scouts? That is not going to exist. There's no way. Okay. Did I pass it? Was there one? Do I believe you? I feel like I'm being trolled. I don't see a safety and a halfback. I don't see it. I'm being trolled. Either that or it was an honest mistake, but I'm still going to have the chat shame you. For shame. God, so could probably go linebacker and safety then. Is there an outside linebacker and safety option? Hey, there is Ian Sims. Ian Sims. I mean, running backs are weird anyway. So we have outside linebackers there. What about running back and wide receiver? Perfect. Ralph Scott. Ralph Scott. All right, cool. So scouting, we should be pretty good. I mean, we're able to take a pretty well-rounded approach. This Cruz is going to the west. Central there. Ralph Scott's on his way to the southeast, and Deion Sanders to the northeast. So yeah, if we continue onward, I mean, we should have a pretty good breakdown then in terms of scouting. Should be pretty well-rounded in that approach. The opening day keys. The opening day keys. What do we got? As always, stifling defense and hope they can't run the ball because, it doesn't like running the ball that much still, you know? Less than 75 yards. So I do think we are going to start our rookie quarterback. We got to know. And if he's only star dev, then it's one of those situations where we say, you know, let's switch to the other guy, hope he gets the breakout, and then we might not be losing that much. All right, we got the weekly strategy. Weekly strategy. Quarterback Bryson Fullerton for them. Again, we don't yet know about Tuttle and Gibbs. But yeah, we got to know. Worst case, Gibbs is only star dev and then regresses to be like a Josh Leach, who again I think is still the starter in Chicago. So not that bad. You can only have 1 3-star and 1 2-star scout, yes. It's not like NHL where you can just go kind of crazy with it. Oh, what do we got for player upgrades here? Marco Macklin. Marco Macklin. Let's make you better at your weakest attributes. Costs just under 11,000 points for him to get an upgrade. We love ourselves some Marco Macklin around here. Brandon Bush. Brandon Bush, make you better as a deep threat. Playing like an 88, not bad. Wish he didn't lose his superstar dev, but still. He has weak points, barely. Sheldon Steele. The man that we picked up for our Super Bowl winning quarterback. But I don't hate it. 23 years old, an X Factor. J Squared, we did win and then tore it down, and now we're already kind of rebuilt. So a little bit of everything. Warrior, what's going on too? How's the leg? Ooh, an ability slot for Cameron Harden. What do they get? Homer. Okay. Homer, and again, running backs are better at passing plays. That's not bad. None of these other guys are long-term options for us, so we'll just go ahead and auto upgrade. And we have some staff points to burn too for its week 1 against Minnesota. We are going to go to Jay Gordon. What do we want to improve from an offensive standpoint here? Boost catching for wideouts, catching traffic, route running, release for wide receivers, offensive line help, and then the running back boosts. I'd say the biggest thing is the offensive line help. I would think. Let's boost the strength. Again, our O-line is solid, but not amazing. So, what's the end goal for this iteration? Win another Super Bowl if we can. Why not? Why not? I think we're ready. Again, we don't have a breakout moment or anything like that tying us to it. We've already won, so we only care about the playoffs. The first career start for Mr. Gibbs at quarterback. I did not alter schemes or anything like that. Maybe I should, because we just lost 21-6. Okay. We'll chalk that up to maybe it was a bad scheme fit. Maybe it was just a bad scheme fit. Maybe. I hope. Because Minnesota's, like, they got some players on defense, but oh boy. We still don't know how good Gibbs is. Our offense is ranked 27th after that opening week, so, yeah. I was not expecting us to only put up 6 points. King Tut getting better already. He's an 85. -1 morale. He gets an ability slot. We'll know for sure if he's superstar or X Factor, but he has an ability slot unlocked. He's got to be an X Factor. He absolutely has to be. Shout out to Dave Meltzer. Still on the team. Getting better and better. I still can't believe we got to draft a guy named Dave Meltzer. Incredible. Let's go over to the schemes here. To the schemes. We're still in the vertical zone run, but that's not really what we want. We want the multiple power run, I would say, and then a base 4-3 is still fine. So if we were to switch playbooks, honestly, Tennessee is probably the best option right now. Hopefully that helps us a little bit. I don't know if it'll do anything, but Crash, I get the reference. Well done. Well done. Again, we have another upgrade. Too short for that one. Let's just go for... Oh, nope, we're too short for that one, too. Upgrades. Business. Sweet, beautiful business. All right. So we are going to know for sure how good Tut is at the end of this game against Jacksonville. Hopefully we sim a little bit better than we did in week 1, even though it's a better team. We fall to 0-2, and we might have to have conversations already. And we, drum roll please, absolutely lost again, 24-21. Okay. 0-2 was not what I had in mind. Do we know how good the quarterback is? Logan Gibbs needs one more flapping game. Please don't go 0-3 in that time. In the meantime, King Tut, an X Factor out of the drafts, the greatest trade up of all time. The greatest trade up of all time, and this guy could have been a Ram. Whew. Oh my God. So he has unstoppable force, which is amazing. He gets Mr. Big Stop. We'll start 3rd or 4th down with at least half of their pass rush points, so you can just burn those points. This guy was 3rd overall. Has the ability to reach out, tackle people in an unpredictable. He is going to be a sack machine. An absolute sack machine. My goodness. Ben Tutt. Could we do the drill to find out? That is a fair point. I don't remember for those drills. It works out the same way. Let's double check. I would like to know if this quarterback is worth backing up here to take on Daniel Rivers and the Rams. So we have that DT with Unstoppable for us. Tuttle has it too. If we play the mini game for Gibbs, yeah, it doesn't do any downs. It's just the XP. So, which is okay. We're going to give Gibbs one more chance to see if he can get his first win. If he loses this game, he is definitely out unless he is a superstar. So that is where we're at. We know the contract negotiations are going to be painful. We will take a look in a second. So from the West. All right, let's have Tomas Cruz look at linebackers primarily. I feel like there's always better steals. We'll have Sims look at safeties primarily. Let's have you, Mr. Sanders, the Colonel, look at corners. And in the Southeast, you can look at wideouts. There we go. We don't have to focus too much on running backs. So again, scouting-wise, we're looking okay. How bad are the contract negotiations going to be? We know they're going to be bad. Okay, Lonnie Reed is willing to stay. It shows us with $121 million in space. Lonnie Reed, Cameron Walton, Damian Johnson, DeAndre McGee. Deshaun Presley has a little bit more interest in staying. Deshaun Mooney, not so much. Derek Ridley is probably going to want out. And then we get the guys that we signed for this season. Right. We will start negotiating at the deadline. I don't want to commit to anybody yet because we might, if the team, much like last season where it's like, oh, cool, we're not going to make it. We take the same strategy, sell off at the deadline, and try to bounce back for the start of next season. It's DeAndre McGee. Upgrading him is not a wise move right now because he'll just cost me more money, but I don't care. I don't care. Barzy, what's going on? So far, so good. It's been a beautiful thing to know that you drafted an X-Factor lineman. And again, Logan Gibbs. I don't quite know how good you are yet, but you are improving at a tremendously quick rate, but we're not winning with you is our big issue. In-game sim, give Gibbs 13 downs, then put in the other one. That is a possibility, but at the same time, there we go. And now we're going to know. It's just a little bit faster. I mean, he doesn't go 0-3. He wipes the floor with the Rams. He's our guy. Look at that. How good is he? We're going to know. Please be at least superstar. Please be at least superstar. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. He's going to be star dev. Fuck. I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not amazing for the 7th overall pick. If he wins Rookie of the Year, or gets a breakout, though, it raises an interesting question as to what the best approach is moving forward, as Cameron Walton had himself a day. 257 yards, averaged almost 20 yards a carry. Bam was a star and shut up. Well, that's what I'm saying, is we can make that investment in him so long as we're winning. Obviously, being 1-2 through the first 3 weeks isn't ideal, but it is clear that it's someone we can build around. It's just a really weird spot to be in that, you know, we got some expiring contracts coming due here. And heavy rain. Press X to Jason in Philadelphia. It doesn't rain in Philadelphia. Come on. Never. Run the ball. All the time, run the ball. 1,000 years, run the ball. This freaking running back that we have. Please. Please, please, please. Hope he's not like Kurt Slater to not get breakouts. Well, I mean, that's the issue. The best chance we would have to get him a potential breakout would be to switch to the air raid offense and just have him throw the ball a shitload. A shitload. Because otherwise, if we're running the ball all the time, it's not going to be in his hands. Like, he needs... Oh, God. Okay. I'm going to have to switch to the air raid. It doesn't make much sense for us. It might not be our best way to win, but it is the best way to get him that breakout moment, is to just throw the ball. Wow, +2 for Damian Johnson. Whew. Attaboy, Mr. Johnson. And Sheldon Steele. Again, try to make you better as a speed rusher, make you more well-rounded. You're already good in other aspects. Like, you would think, though, offensively, like, we should be fine because our defense is so stacked. They should be able to offset the growing pains offensively. I want to try it. It is the best way to get him to develop. Is we try to mold him into Joe Burrow. And either he will crumble under the pressure or it'll work out very, very well for us. And I'm not sure which is more likely to happen. We have nothing else to do this week. Can we get back to 500 in Philadelphia? Can we get back to 500? Yes, we can. 30-25. Okay, and then speaking of Cincinnati, they are next. Okay. So far, so good. I want to get to the deadline here before we really start to kind of see what's up. Gibbs, you did great. You did great, honey. That's what I was going to say. And I'm like, should I say it? No. We will coddle him until he can't win football games, and then we'll throw him to the wolves. Sink or swim. As we win in the rain. We're getting a bunch of XP for random things, even if we don't have a breakout moment yet. It's the goal to win the Super Bowl of your tank. The goal is always to win the Super Bowl. Always. Always. I just don't know if we'll get there. But we do have a very good team still. Man, Joe Burrow is still an X factor. What a monster. I'm surprised that Bailey Zappi got cut. A little bit, but I guess the game plan for him and Cunningham is, hey, hope they clear waivers and make the practice squad. So, you know. In Bill, I still trust. Although, you know, he's had some moves where you could be like, but hey, again, it is what it is. Who's backing up Mac, though? I mean, the rumor is Colt McCoy. And again, by the time this ends up on YouTube a month from now, people will already know. But it does sound like Colt McCoy since the Cardinals got rid of him. Oh, Khalid Callahan. How I love you. Now a 96 overall. What a man. What a man, what a man. Cameron, dude, all of our best players got even better. Cameron Walton. Absolute beast. Cameron Walton. We're going to have some tough decisions to make here, though, even if we do want to bring back certain people, man. They're getting older. Let's make Lonnie Reed even better. I'm glad we had Lonnie Reed as a second option behind Bryce Wells. I don't know if Reed will be as dynamic, but the fact he's so damn good at blocking helps a lot for what should be a run-heavy team at their core. +4 break tackle for Brandon Bush. Holy shit. How many upgrade points did we earn? Ben Tuttle. King Tut up to an 86. He hasn't even played 5 regular season games yet, and he's an 86. Jesus Christ. It like takes 5,000 points for him to get an upgrade. Sheldon Steele. Just keep chipping away at making you better as a speed rusher, so that way you have more options. As he gets an ability slot as well for hitting 85 overall. Joe, how are you? Christian White is probably never going to be good at pass coverage, but I'm still going to try to make him better. Because he's not too bad at everything else. Tuttle was 3rd overall. If you get a higher dev, do you get more upgrades per point? It takes less XP for them to earn an upgrade point, basically. So that's the benefit to the higher dev pattern, is it costs, they have to earn less XP to get that next upgrade point. So like for Jacoby Harris, he has to get 9,000 XP to get that next skill point. Whereas for Logan Gibbs, being younger and star dev, 6,000, which actually isn't amazing, but it is what it is. Let's make you better in this regard. Now is 76 for Logan Gibbs. If he can just get a breakout, man, he could be the guy that we need him to be. Shout out to Squeaky Chair. It's back. Dave Meltzer. Another upgrade point. He just keeps getting better. Better and better. All right. Big game against Cincinnati. A rematch of Super Bowl 66. 7? No, it was 6. We do lose 31-21, so we are back under 500. We have 2 games left. 2 games left before deadline week. Oh, Brandon Bush. I mean, hey. I hope you have a good game, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We have no guarantees that the other quarterback we have on roster would do significantly better, but again, the problem is, like, we want to think short term, but we also want to think long-term this season. Our defense is only ranked 20th, by the way. So despite them being absolutely stacked, it's not looking as amazing as it should. Like, our defense should be insane. And for that reason, I don't know how much it really even matters anymore, but we will change that defensive playbook away from New Orleans. Is there a different 4-3 that I'm interested in here? Let's go with the San Francisco playbook. I feel like we certainly have the defensive skill to pull that off. All right, we just beat the Rams a few weeks ago. I mean, right now the best of the division are at 3-2, so a win here gets us right back into the mix. And then it's Houston week 7. Can we pull the double over the Rams? Fuck. Yeah, we have to make a choice here.